செல்வ நெடுமாடம் சென்று சேனோங்கி செல்வ மதிதோய செல்வம் உயர்கின்ற செல்வர்வாழ் தில்லை சிற்றம்பலமேய செல்வன் கழல் ஏத்தும் செல்வம் செல்வமே. பெரியோர்களே, 42ஆம் ஆண்டு நாட்டியாஞ்சலி விழாவின் நிறைவு நாள் நிகழ்ச்சிகள் இனிதே தொடங்க இருக்கின்றன. தமிழ்நாட்டின் மேதகு ஆளுநர் அவர்கள் வந்து கொண்டிருப்பதால் ரசிகர்கள் அனைவரும் தங்கள் இருக்கையில் அமருமாறு அன்போடு சிதம்பரம் நாட்டியாஞ்சலி அறக்கட்டளை கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறது. ரசிக பெருமக்கள் வெளியில் நின்று கொண்டிருந்தால் தயவு செய்து விஎஸ் ட்ரஸ்ட் வாசல் வழியாக வந்து தங்கள் இருக்கையில் அமருமாறு மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை ரசிகர்களை அன்போடு சிதம்பரம் நாட்டியாஞ்சலி அறக்கட்டளை கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றது. மேதகு ஆளுநர் வந்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றார். அவர் உள்ளே வரும்பொழுது அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்குமாறு சிதம்பரம் நாட்டியாஞ்சலி அறக்கட்டளை அன்போடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றது. The Chidambaram Natyanjali Trust takes immense pleasure in welcoming the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu and Madam Governor of Tamil Nadu, who are here for the valedictory function of the 42nd Natyanjali Festival being organized by Chidambaram Natyanjali Trust at Rajasar Annamalai Chettiar premises, Chidambaram. We request all the distinguished guests onto the dais. please arise for national anthem followed by Tamil Thai Varthu.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा दव शुभ नामे जाहे दव सुभाषिष माहे काहे दव जय गाधा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்து கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமெதில் தெக்கணமும் அது சிறந்த திராவிடன திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரிதனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திரம்பி என்று செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
Now we welcome Dr. R. Muthukumaran, President, Chidambaram Natyanjali Trust, to deliver the welcome address.
Your Excellency, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri Raviji, respected Madam Governor, distinguished guests, respected officials on the stage and off the stage, enthusiastic dance participants, artists, and dear Rasiga Perumakale, good evening to all of you. With the divine grace of Lord Nataraja, this 42nd Natyanjali is celebrated this year. Today, on the concluding day of this festival, I am standing before you to welcome you all. Respected Honorable Governor Sir, we are really honored by your presence and feel proud to have you as your chief guest today. We want to emphasize that your august presence on this day in this festival will certainly enhance its importance and make it public understood the purpose of the festival. We are aware of your keen interest in our arts, culture and social activities and your love for our Tamil language. Sir, we proudly thank you for accepting our invitation and for agreeing to deliver the valedictory address. We, the members of the Natyanjali Trust, heartily welcome the Honorable Governor and the Lady Governor. We welcome all the distinguished guests, respected officials, artists and audience. Hearty welcome to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we welcome Shri A. Sambandam, Secretary Chidambaram Natyanjali Trust, to give a prologue of the Natyanjali Trust of Chidambaram.
Your Excellency, Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, respected Madam Governor, respected Vice Chancellor of Namala University, respected President of Natyanjali Trust, Dr. Muthukumaran, and other office bearers and trustees, respected officials, and respected Rasikas who are before us, and all those who are witnessing the event through YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Good evening to all of you. We are really privileged to have in our midst the Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu and Lady Governor on this valedictory day of the 42nd Natyanjali Festival. After he assumed office as the Governor of Tamil Nadu, we became aware of his deep interest in Tamil language and his efforts to learn it also. In fact, when this Tamil வாழ்த்து was recited here, he was also singing it silently, and we could observe that. Thank you, sir. His interest in music and dance and other cultural activities are now known to everyone. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to read about his speech in a book release function in Chennai, in which he made an in-depth analysis of the various theories of the West, like theology, Darwinism, etc., which changed the course of history, and finally emphasized how the concept of dharma of our country has been misunderstood and has to be followed. We are really privileged to have such a knowledgeable person in our midst today as our chief guest. We thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Coming to Natyanjali, you all know that this event is being organized with a noble concept behind it. Our country is known as Bharat from ancient times, which is recognized in our constitution also. The word Bharat means Agni or fire. It also refers King Bharata, son of Shakuntala, who is the daughter of the celestial dancer Menaka. Thus, the art of dance has a connection with the word Bharat. That is why Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati also emphasized the name Bharat in his song. Bharata Bhumi, Paramberum Bhumi, Neeradan Pudalvar, Innenai Vahatradir. Bharat is an ancient nation. We are all sons of Bharat. Don't forget this. The name India came only later. We all know that our nation has a rich and ancient history of dance and music, with treatises on the grammar of dance art of India, which are more than 1,500 years old. When we do a research of the Western culture, we find their treatises are only a few centuries old, sir. Such is the richness and greatness of our ancient culture. Our cultural explorations and expressions were not for mere entertainment. Our classical music and dance always had as their object the elevation of humanity at the spiritual level through bhakti, karma, or action and jnana. In the year 1981, scholars like Kapila Vatsayana and Dr. R. Nagaswamy gave the concept of revival of this spirit of dedication of the dance art to the Divine Lord, to invoke His grace for the welfare of the people. Here we may remember that the great kings of Chola and Pandya dynasties of Tamil Nadu built great temples rather than strong forts for themselves. That is the expression of offering the best to the God. The legendary artists offered to cooperate to execute the object, and the leading citizens of yesteryears, along with the youngsters, took upon themselves the task of organizing the festival. I too was a young man with a black hair when I joined this venture when it started, though I have now worn silver hair. This concept was always the quintessence of a rich and ancient cultural heritage, which made it unique and different from the cultural traits of the Western cultures. Over the years, the artists practicing all classical dance styles of India from all the states have understood the spirit in which the festival is organized. The artists who participate here do not demand anything. We provide them food and stay and the stage. Sometimes artists traveling from far-off places are provided even for their travel expenses. It is always a dream of the artist to perform here at the place where the concept of universe is worshipped in the form of Lord Nataraja. The concept and the cooperation of the artists have culminated in organizing this festival in this holy town, which has a history of nearly 2,000 years, where all the four Saivite saints of the 6th, 7th, and 9th century have sung the presiding deity, where the palm leaf manuscripts of Tamil devotional literature Devaram were recovered by the legendary king Rajaraja Chola, who built the world-famous Tanjore temple, where the basic dance poses known as karanas have been sculpted in the temple walls, where the living tradition of worship of the Lord continues for more than 15 centuries in spite of the invasions by the alien rulers, and where the renowned Annamalai University, which teaches music and dance also, is situated. While promoting the original object of our culture, we are also in tune with the ethos of the nation to inculcate and nurture the spirit of national unity of thought with diversity of expression. During last year, when Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, that is the 75th year of Indian independence, was celebrated, we organized programs like Nritya Sangamam, when artists from different styles and states joined together to perform to the tune of patriotic songs. Similarly, to educate the young minds about our freedom struggle, last year the artists presented a program on the life, valor, and sacrifice of the freedom fighters. Every year, nearly 300 artists perform during the 5-day festival. Artists from all the states have performed their distinct styles here. Likewise, during the 42 years, more than 10,000 artists have performed in this festival. Many of them would have grown older now, but the flow continues generation after generation. Our only wish is that the river of our art should flow eternally. We do not have any assets or permanent funds. Every now and then, the Ministry of Culture, Government of India, Sangeet Natak Academy, New Delhi, NLC India Limited, philanthropists and local citizens extend assistance to continue our efforts during the last 4 decades. The admission to the festival is free. It has enabled the rural public to witness the multifaceted culture of our country. True to its concept, the festival starts every year on Mahashivaratri day, when at 6 o'clock in the evening, the temple bells start ringing. The ankle bells of the dancers set to the tunes start ringing on this stage. The impact of the festival has resulted in similar festivals being organized in several hundred Shiva temples like Tiruvarur, Tanjavur, Kumbakonam, and so many other places at the same time. With all humility, I may add that though Mahashivaratri is being celebrated for several centuries, Natyanjali has made it more popular among the devotees. During the last 42 years, we faced several crises, difficulties, and troubles on several occasions and in several ways. And yet, by the grace of Lord Nataraja and with the support of the people to whom we are always grateful, the festival has survived. Here I want to place on record the services rendered by the past presidents, Sri Vagi Sambillai, Dr. Rangaswamy Pillai, Sri Balasubramaniam, Swaminathan, Sri V.S. Ramalingam, Sri R. Ramalingam, and Sri B. Pazhani, who are soulfully present with us today, and also the selfless services of the present members of our trust and scholars like Dr. B.M. Sundaram and his team, who enrich the performances by informative details about the art and the artist, and also all others whose names may be several hundreds, and who have been guiding and helping us, and who have worked all these years without any ego and with unflinching dedication. Credit also goes to the press and the media and the channels who took the festival events to every nook and corner of the country. This festival was not started by any government or corporates. It was started in a small way by the common people of this town. To borrow the words of Abraham Lincoln, the festival was started by the people, for the welfare of the people, for inviting the grace of God, and has now become a festival of the people. I have seen, and many people here would have seen, the ballets in Lincoln Theatre in New York, the operas in Moulin Rouge in Paris. They are highly priced and ticketed performances, meant only for entertainment. But in our country, the music and dance performances aim at elevation of the human soul. We always keep this aspect of our culture in our mind. Some sects of humanity may shun music and dance. Some sects develop it for entertainment. But we in India convert it as a tool of spirituality, and this festival also serves this purpose. By the presence of His Excellency, we now believe that we have now laid a firm basis for the concept, and it has to be taken to further heights. We have a vision and dream, like the centuries-old temple of Lord Nataraja, which makes the town an important pilgrim center, like the Annamalai University, which makes this town an academic center. We only hope and wish that it becomes a cultural center with permanent infrastructures like an amphitheater with all the facilities for the artists and the audience, where with the above concept as the basis, cultural events like dance, classical music, and discourses on Tamil literature continue every month and even every week, and people from other countries make it an important item of their itinerary during their visit and to Chidambaram and learn about our art and culture. At this juncture, we remember the words of one of the great 20th century poets of the United States of America, Robert Frost, who wrote, "The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep." Similarly, we have several miles to go. Finally, before concluding, I wish to recall again the encouraging words of Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati, which has guided us. Manadil urudi vendum, vakinile inimai vendum, நினைவு நல்லன வேண்டும், கனவு மெய்ப்பட வேண்டும், கைவசமாவது விரைவில் வேண்டும், வானுலகம் இங்கு தென்பட வேண்டும். An English translation is, let our willpower become more stronger to continue the task. Let our words be sweet and intelligent. Let our thoughts be pure and selfless. Let our dreams become a fact eternal. And let this happen as quickly as possible so that the golden heaven can be seen here on this earth. With these few thoughts and words, let me conclude with these prayers to Lord Nataraja, and I seek the blessings of Her Excellency to carry on the festival to further heights. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now we invite Professor Dr. R.M. Kadiresan, Vice Chancellor, Annamalai University, to offer his felicitation.
Most respected, beloved and honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu and Chancellor of Annamalai University, Sri R.N. Raviji, Madam Chancellor, Madam Governor, Sri Lakshmi Raviji, learned and elite citizens of Chidambaram, the trustees of Natyanjali Group, the district officials, beloved spectators, good evening to all of you. My humble pranams to Honorable Governor. And when I was looking at Natyanjali, I remember one scientist, because we being in the field of science, we always try to correlate science to anything that come across in our life. There was one Frigid Capra, who was an Austrian-born physicist working in University of Berkeley, California. And he published a book in 1975 that was translated into 23 languages and sold over 1 million copies. The title of the book is The Tao of Physics, exploring the parallels between Eastern mythicism and modern physics. So in that book, he is a Nobel laureate, Frigid Capra. He is supposed to be the founding father of a discipline called quantum physics that describes the movement of atomic particles due to gravitational force either inside a liquid or in the atmosphere. And he says that the movement of the atomic particle due to gravity is exactly similar to the dance postures of Eastern Asia and especially Tamil Nadu. And he says the dance postures has three different principles: creation, preservation, and destruction. And this creation, preservation, and destruction is almost the way in which energy is created by the atomic particles. The atomics move around. And that is the reason why in 1976, the Center for European Research on Nuclear Physics, Zurich, was gifted by Dr. Abdul Kalam by a 6-foot tall Nataraja. And in 2004, the same Nataraja statue was, a similar Nataraja statue was gifted to NASA. So dancing Lord Nataraja looks to us as a spiritual god, but scientists have come out with theories that relate the movement of atomic particles and creation of energy, sustenance of energy, and destruction of energy due to dance. Dance posture, as I said, creates energy, sustains energy, and destroys energy, and that is why the dance is supposed to create a sound mind in a sound body. So creating a sound mind in a sound body is something like yoga or severe exercise. Dancing on the stage for half an hour is almost playing a basketball for more than 1 hour. So that much of severe exercise is involved in dances. And there are different art forms of dances. And Natyanjali Trust, I remember, they have been bringing in experts, exponents of Kathak, Kathakali, Manipuri, Odissi, Kuchipudi, and Bharatanatyam. And they travel all over from India and dance here. Sometimes even from abroad they come and dance here. And they offer the worship to Lord Nataraja in the form of dance. And dancing is an excellent thing. As I said, it creates sound mind in a sound body. Annamalai University is established here about 100 years ago, and it is marching towards centenary. And fortunately, we are the first to have a fine arts faculty wherein we have a music department and a dance department. And again, another fortunate thing is, recently we had a department called sports science, which unravels the involvement of sports mechanics, sports biochemistry, sports physiology when an athlete or a player is taking up sports activity. And again, due to the grace of Lord Nataraj and well wishes of all the elite people and Honorable Governor, both the departments are situated nearby. And next year, from next year onwards, with the blessings of Honorable Governor, we would like to take up research not only on sports mechanics, sports physiology, and sports biochemistry, but also on dance mechanics, dance physiology, and dance biochemistry. That is a humble submission, and Natyanjali, as I told, I remember one Tirunavukarasar quote, Munnam avanude namam kettal, Murthy avanirukkum vannam kettal, Pinnum avanukke pichiyanal. So those who used to come here for 1 year and look at the Natyanjali festival, they used to be regular attendees year after year, and they have been doing the Natyanjali in a wonderful manner. And the different art cultures, as I said, Manipuri, Kathak, Kathakali, Odissi, Bharatanatyam, all are symbolized by the dancing Lord Nataraj. In much of the airports within India and even outside India, I have seen the idol of Lord Nataraj. So that Lord Nataraj statue is a symbol of dance, and here Natyanjali is being offered as a prayer. That is why I made a request to Honorable Governor that Natyanjali festival is worth being blessed by Honorable Governor and Madam Governor. And with this, I congratulate the Natyanjali trustees, and I wholeheartedly thank Honorable Governor and Madam Governor for having blessed the occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to honor our chief guests, Honorable Governor and Madam Governor. I request the President of Natyanjali Committee, Dr. R. Muthukumaran, to honor Honorable Governor with a shawl. I request Shri A. Sambandam, Secretary, Chidambaram Natyanjali Trust, to honor Honorable Garner with a memento. I request Mrs. S. Rajarajeshwari of the Working Committee of Natyanjali Trust to honor Madam Garner with a shawl. The Natyanjali Committee takes immense pleasure in inviting the Honorable Garner to deliver the valedictory address.
மேடை உள்ள மரியாதைக்குரிய ப்ரொஃபஸர் ஆர்.எம். கதிரேசன் அவர்களே, பிரசிடென்ட் நட்யாஞ்சலி ட்ரஸ்ட் டாக்டர் ஆர். முத்துக்குமரன் அவர்களே, செக்ரட்டரி திரு ஏ. சம்பந்தம் அவர்களே, வைஸ் பிரசிடென்ட் திரு ஆர். நடராஜன் அவர்களே, திரு ஆர். ராமநாதன் அவர்களே, டாக்டர் எம். கணபதி அவர்களே, ட்ரஸ்டி அவர்களே, மரியாதைக்குரிய அழைப்பாளர்களே, சகோதர சகோதரிகளே, இங்கே கூட்டியிருக்கும் அனைவரையும் வணக்கம். இவ்விழாவில் பங்கேற்பதில் நான் மிக மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறேன். நாட்டியாஞ்சலி நமது பாரதத்திற்கு பெருமை சேவை செய்து வருகிறது. நாட்டியத்தின் உன்னத மன்னருக்கு ஆண்டுதோறும் அஞ்சலி செலுத்த ஏற்பாடு செய்யும் நாட்டியாஞ்சலிக்கு எனது நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். I am delighted to be at the place which is blessed by Lord Nataraja. We all know that Nataraja is considered the Adi God. The Supreme One. And Chidambaram ஒரு ஆன்மீக பூமி என்று நமக்கு நன்றாக தெரியும். This In our ancient, since ancient, Sanatana Dharma, we believe that creation is an interplay of the five great elements, Mahabhuta, Panchabhuta. And of this Panchabhuta, the four are here in our state, in our land, Tamil Nadu. And no wonder Tamil Nadu is the spiritual capital, the center of gravity of Bharatiya Sanatana Adhyatma. Natyanjali has been organizing this annual festival of dance for the last, I'm told, 42 years. It's a great service they are doing to the country. Great service to the humanity. We know that dance in our country, the origin of dance, it is since the days of Vedas. Dance has not been, especially even today, our classical dance is not a mere source of entertainment. It is not a sensory delight. It is a medium to connect with the divine. When our rishis, ancient rishis and sages, they discovered the fundamental universal laws, and they realized that the entire creation, humans, animals, plants, these are all manifestation of the divine. The various manifestation of the same divine. The variation that we see are apparent because of Prakriti. But the Purusha, the divinity, is one and the same. Now this universal oneness, its revelation, its realization that happened several thousand years ago. By most conservative estimate, it is at least over 7,000 years ago. The rishis realized, they felt the need how to make it easier for the people to realize it. How do we realize that there is the universal unity of the creation? This difference, the diversities that we see, our diversities are like the leaves of a tree. A tree has million leaves. Each of you see, no two leaves are alike. It is the law of nature, it is the law of creation. It does not replicate. We have over 7 billion human beings on earth. No two are exactly alike. From the same mango tree, you plant the seeds. Trees come up. Not all trees are alike. Not all leaves of the same trees are alike. Not all fruits are alike. But can we forget? Can we ever ignore the fact that their existence beyond the tree doesn't hold any meaning? They are a part of the same tree. The diversity that you see are apparent diversity. They are all connected. They are all rooted in the same divine. The moment we realize this oneness, our differences dissolves. The love, the mutual love and affection grows. Now, when the Rishi got the realization of the universal oneness, the challenge before them was how to make it easier for the common folk to realize it. Because they realized it through rigorous sadhana, meditation. But what about common folks? How to make it easier for the people? And then they started working various ways. And that is how we got into various disciplines we call different Mimamsa, yoga, Nyasa, Vaisheshika, so many. Sadadarshan. Each of these were ways for a person to practice and reach that level to realize the universal oneness. And in the search of that, they also realized that there were other ways which were perhaps more powerful. And then they discovered to reaching the divine, connecting with the divine through music and dance. That is why there is a concept of Nad Brahma in our ancient literature. And Narad, the great Rishi, was a musician. The dance, we all know, that the treatise, the first treatise on dance was by the Bharat Muni. He was a Rishi. So the dance and music, our classical dance and classical music that we have are rooted in our spirituality, our Sanatana Dharma, which is Sanatana Adhyatma. For various political reasons and odd reasons, our people have become shy of mentioning it. Even when the president introduced me, he says, our governor is very interested in art, culture and Tamil language. But this culture that we often say is not simply culture, is something that happens the ways of living of any society, any community. Our culture, Bharatiya culture, is rooted in our spirituality, in our Sanatana Adhyatma. But somehow we feel shy of mentioning that. I hear many people holding very high positions, when they talk about temple management, they say, well, we must manage the temple because they reflect our art and culture. They feel shy of mentioning spirituality, which is the soul. Devoid of soul, a body, imagine a body. It is like a dead body on a table of a forensic doctor. Everything is there, but the soul is not. It is the soul that makes it worthwhile. And so when we talk about temples or we talk about our classical dance and classical music, we should for a moment ignore the fact that these are expressions of the divine. And that is why all our classical dances are devotional in nature. Our classical music are devotional. It's not like what is based on the modern beat and discotheque, which we have there, the various forms of modern music. That's also music. It's good. Nothing wrong with that. But let us not lose the focus. The hair in our country, in Bharat, our culture, which is our dance and music, are essentially a reflection of that Sanatana Adhyatma that believes in the universal oneness, universal unity. No one is excluded, no one is out. That's why I often say there is no concept of pagan, no concept of infidel in this Sanatana Adhyatma. Everyone, whether even the Gnostics, those who do not believe, even they are part of it. Because they cannot be excluded. Universal oneness, such a comprehensive, such an inclusive darshan. And our classical dance and classical music are beautiful expression of it. Various places. Here we have Bharatanatyam. Different places we have different forms. But they are all devotional. They are all rooted in the divine, in the search for divine. Connect with the divine. And that is what defines this country called Bharat. And Bharat, I often say, and some people out of ignorance, they ask a question. Who was the ruler who ruled over the entire country at any point of time? Understanding a country, understanding a state in terms of ruler is a Western view, is an European view. There they had Bahubali, they had a strong ruler with the army, they captured territory and they consolidated and it became a country. Bharat is a cultural and civilizational evolution born out of that spirituality. There are various interpretation, explanation of the word Bharat. But the one which is deeply rooted is, it is born out of the word. Roots, word is Bha, is light. Light is that light of universal oneness. And Rat is embraced, the enlightened land. And that is why our ancient scripture says, defines Bharat in geographic terms as Uttaram yat samudrasya himadrishya eva dakshinam varsham tada bharatam nama bharati yatra santati. North of ocean and south of Himalayas is Bharat and its children are Bharati. This Bharat is manifested in our day-to-day life. In our day-to-day routine, Bharat lives in our soul. It's a different thing that apparently because of different pursuits and different interests, we raise questions and we often get into conflict. But in every house, in every home, in every heart, Bharat lives. Even in the most illiterate person, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, from Kutch to Kohima, that Bharat lives. It was fragmented, British colonizers tried to destroy it. And the fact that they have destroyed so much was realized by our freedom fighters. And Mahatma Gandhi, when he drafted the resolution in 1930 on 26th of January 1930 in Lahore was part of Bharat, asking for British to quit, demanding Purna Swaraj, total independence. The resolution reads, the British rule has ruined India politically, economically, culturally and spiritually. They destroyed the culture and spirituality of India. They tried to destroy it. Post-independence, after the British left, we forgot that part of it, the culture and spirituality. Minus that culture and spirituality, what is this? It is a crowd. What makes this country as one is its spirituality and the culture which is born out of that spirituality. I am glad that Natyanjali, with its modest resources, but a strong commitment, is pursuing the journey, the pilgrimage of keeping the Bharat, the idea of Bharat, vibrant in whichever way they can, in whatever limited resources that they have. Today, our country, we are in a very radical transformative phase. It's the first time after after 7 decades almost, that the country is being looked at from the eyes of a Bharatiya. Otherwise, almost for about 7 decades, no country in the world took us seriously. Such a big country of 1.3 billion people, and the world doesn't take you seriously. Because we were home of the largest number of sick, illiterate, poor. In every aspect we were behind. Not that we didn't build schools, we didn't build hospitals, we didn't build roads, we did. But we started building in piecemeal, because we kept looking at the country in segments, not as one family. Bharat is a family. Nataraj lives in the Constitution of India. Chapter 12 of the Constitution, before the chapter begins, it is the portrait of Lord Nataraja in the original Constitution. Bharat is a family. But no, we looked at it in terms of south, north, east, west, language, cuisine, culture. We looked at differences. As a result, in 1951, the number of castes that we had, and today, number has almost doubled. We just don't, and new castes are emerging. This divisive approach, looking at the tree from the perspective of every leaf. When you look at the tree from the perspective of leaves, tree is gone. There is no tree. It cannot happen. Leaves cannot exist without tree. We have to look at the leaves from the perspective of the tree. And it is the first time that we have a national leader who looks at the country from the perspective of a tree, as a family, as one composite whole. And that is why the magic is happening today. Today, when the Prime Minister of India speaks, the whole world listens, and listens with attention. Today we are the fastest growing economy in the world. Post-COVID, when the whole world is in recession, India is the light of the world. India is rising, India is growing. And the world looks at India with an expectation as an engine for recovery of global growth. Today, we are the 5th largest economy in the world. And within 5 to 6 years, we are destined to be the 3rd largest. And in the next, by the time we have 2047, we are on a path to become the largest economy in the world. Today, we are the 3rd largest startup ecosystem in the world. Till a few years ago, in this country, we hardly had 500 startups. Today, we are nearing almost about 1 lakh. It is our young men and women who are doing it because we trust them. Today, when development happens, development does not discriminate between region or even political dispensation. The investment on road infrastructure, on health, on education, in every field of development that happens here in Tamil Nadu or happens here in anywhere else is almost at the same scale. Perhaps in some ways it is more in Tamil Nadu. It doesn't discriminate. Because political differences aside, the family cannot be discriminated. And the result is magical. Today, earlier, the government looked at people with patronage, as a source of patronage. People used to look upon government for everything. Okay, government must give, government must do this. people were made servile. People were made supplicant. A country cannot grow unless the potential, the latent energy, the capacity, the talent of every of its individual, each of its individual is permitted, an ecosystem is created where it is unleashed and it is harnessed. And we see the result today. Our young men and women are sending rockets, rocket launchers building, sending and measuring the depth at the height of the sky. They are doing incredible things. In science and technology, we are among the leaders of the world today. And we have just seen our global pandemic. Nobody knew. Nobody knew the way out. And within a record time, thanks to our scientists, we found the vaccine. And while the rich countries were busy making money out of their vaccines, we distributed vaccines to over 150 countries. Because we believe the world is a family. We believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is a family. Because our ancient prayers itself says, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashit dukh bhag bhavet. Let every being be happy. Let every being be free of diseases. It is not for me or for my just limited small family. And that is why the world looks at India's rise with hope and expectation and a sense of relief that when India rises, it brings peace. India today is giving voice to the two-thirds humanity, which is called Global South, which has no voice in the world. The world order today was created in the aftermath of Second World War by the victor countries. They created a world order to suit their interest. In that, small countries, tiny countries, they have so much power. Whereas the large countries, the large humanity is left voiceless. They are looking at India with an expectation to be their voice, and India will be their voice. Today, when the war breaks out, world looks at this country with a hope that India may be able to help resolve it. Today, when we have the global climate crisis, everyone is looking at India to show the way, and India is showing the way. This massive transformation that has happened today, it is primarily the way we look at our country as a family and look at the problem faced by the country in whole, not piecemeal. Because in a family, if there is a problem in a family, it is not the problem of one member of the family. If any member of the family falls sick, it is the problem of the family. And so, we see the result. There is a positivity. There is a strong sense of we can do it and we will do it. That is why Prime Minister once said a poem, Iduve Neram, Shariyana Neram, Bhardatin Punnana Neram. This is the time, that is our time. And we have set a goal now. The goal is, in the next 25 years, which is the Amrit Kal, this country must be fully developed and self-reliant. And we all have a responsibility to do that, to contribute to that. And this resurgence is not just material development. It's not just in terms of science and technology. Science and technology is there in the West also. But the West is in crisis. They have contributed to much of the problem that the world is facing today. Be it climate crisis, be it war, be it endemic poverty. It is a spirituality of Bharat. The strong Bharat, materially strong Bharat, and a spiritually resurgent Bharat, which has the light, which can save the world. And in this journey of next 25 years, Natyanjali also has a responsibility. How to invigorate the spiritual resurgence of this country. A spiritual resurgence among the various ways is cultural resurgence. Culture which is rooted in our spirituality. Our native, our own languages, our mother tongues. For long we have been enslaved. We have been slave of English or foreign language. English is a language one must learn. Nothing wrong with that. One must learn as many languages as possible. But nothing to beat our own mother tongue. We heard so many, even today, even this evening, we heard people speaking about some scholars, some persons from the West, from US and America, US or Europe. There is a wealth of our own people. Sangam literature, our Tirukural, our Tirumurai, Dibya Prabandham, all our literature is replete with wisdom. Let us go deep into that. Let us study. Let us make our children and ourselves proud of it. Many times when I see people talking about many people, because being a chancellor of universities, I do visit, and I find our scholars, our academicians, often quoting somebody from the West on some issues, little realizing that there are greater scholars from this land. Because what is there? If you look at, people often talk about, I have also mentioned about democracy and all, people talk about Abraham Lincoln. What is democracy? What this man knows about democracy? Blacks were not considered a human being. That they didn't consider blacks as a human being at all. The women were only half men. Because he quoted an expression, very high-sounding expression, we often feel we quote it. The fact that in ancient India, here in this very land, there are writings, there are inscriptions that talks about participative decision, because this Bharat lives in villages, and villages, all the decisions were participative. A village knew how to take a decision, how to resolve the problem, how to face a problem. And they did all through collective participation. The participatory decision making, it is in our sanskar, is in our DNA. But to validate ourselves, we will quote somebody from far away who knows not, who was not at all a Democrat. For him, democracy was a polemical slogan. Now, this mental slavery, we have to fight it, we have to overcome it. We have to be proud of our heritage, which is far, far older. Much, much older. Yes, Secretary mentioned about that how a few hundred years old is the other civilization, where ours is several millennia. Be proud of us. Let us be proud of it. And in this, to be proud of our spirituality and our culture rooted in a spirituality, let us celebrate our dance, our music. Let us dedicate ourselves to Lord Nataraja. He is the Supreme. Nothing happens, nothing has happened, and nothing will ever happen without His will. With that dedication, let us put our heart and soul in it. I welcome and I thank and express my gratitude to all the artists, those who have come from different parts of the country and performed here, in the spirit of unity, in the spirit of devotion to Bharat. And what Natyanjali is doing is a service to Bharat. It's not just a show, a cultural show. It is modest, but it is magnificent. And I wish Natyanjali all the very best in the forward journey. All that I would say is keep in mind that, and that is not only for them, for all of us, that we have a responsibility We have to take this country to the height that it deserves, to the destiny which is theirs, which is ours. For long we have been at the margin, no longer. And here we must rise above all the differences. Some people who are vested interest, either some personal, family or clan, they keep raising issues, imaginary issues, and trying to divide our family. No. We have to be conscious of it. There will be external forces. Many of the problems that we see in our country here today are now inspired from abroad. Because the rise of Bharat is not necessarily liked or loved by many countries. Because they don't feel comfortable. They don't realize that rise of Bharat is for the good of the humanity. They see their personal interest. And their agenda is also pursued by people here in our country when they start creating division. These divisive forces, they try to come together and try to disrupt the rise, the growth of Bharat. They must know it is unstoppable. Now we are on inevitable march to the future, to a future that is rightfully ours. Nobody can stop it. All the forces will be like eddies in a current. When the water flows, you drop a stone, it only creates a small eddy, water flows. India will flow, Bharat will reach its destiny. They must know it. And each of us must be proud of it. I wish all of you, all the artists, all the Rasikas, all the present, and the Translate, the very best. Jai Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the words of wisdom, your wishes, which are spontaneous from your heart, strewn with blessings, which intertwined with the civilizational aspect of this great land. Thank you again, Your Excellency, for your gracious presence and address. Now, I invite Mr. M. Ganapati, Treasurer, Chidambaram Natyanjali Trust, to propose vote of thanks.
Vanakkam. I deem it as a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion, on the culmination of the 42nd Natyanjali Festival. First and foremost, we wish to thank His Excellency the Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri R.N. Ravi ji, Madam Governor. Despite their busy schedule, they had found time to grace the occasion and add grandeur to this function. Sir, you have been inspiring. You had a very good inspired us with your address, and we would continue to look towards you for guidance and further inspiration in invigorating spirituality in this Natyanjali. We place on record our deep sense of gratitude to the Vice Chancellor, Professor R.M. Kadaresan, for his interest and continued support. Our heartfelt thanks and gratitude to the Collector of the Kadalur District, Mr. K. Balasubramanian, Superintendent of Police, Mr. Raja Raman, Assistant Collector, Mrs. Sweta Suman, and Assistant Superintendent of Police, Mr. Raghupati, and other state government officials who have helped us to ensure this occasion becomes a memorable success. We thank all the distinguished invitees present here, members of the media, for evincing interest in covering the 5-day Natyanjali festival, and all good hearts who have worked behind the screen. Last but not the least, we wish to thank the audience for their cooperation in making this function a resounding success. And we wish to thank the sponsors, the Neyveli Lignite Corporation, the City Union Bank, the Ministry of Culture, Sangeet Natak Academy, and other business enterprises. An ancient scripture says, wear gratitude like a cloak and it will feed every corner of your life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Please arise for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विदाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलति तरंगा दव शुभ नामे जाहे दव सुभाशिष माहे काहे दव जय गादा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विदाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Testing. Hello.
ओम शंकर। ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश प्रतीक हैं उत्पत्ति, पालन और विनाश के। शिव और आदिदेव इन तीनों में से एक है। शिव जो डमरू धारण करके और उसके सुर ताल से तांडव करके संपूर्ण ब्रह्मांड की चलेमान रखते हैं, वो नटराज का नाम से जाने जाते हैं। आज की पवित्र शिवालय स्थल को हम नृत्य के माध्यम से भगवान शिव को अर्पण करते हैं। पूर्वाशाह अपने विद्यार्थियों के साथ ये वंदना भगवान शिव के चरणों में अर्पित करने जा रही है। பிரம்மா, விஷ்ணு, மகேஷ் மூன்று உற்பத்தி, காத்தல், அழித்தல் மூன்றுக்கும் தெய்வங்களாக விளங்குகின்றனர். ஆதி தேவனான சிவன் இந்த மூவரிலுமே ஒன்றுதான். தன்னுடைய டமருவை எடுத்துக்கொண்டு சுரதாளத்தோடு சிவபெருமான் தாண்டவம் செய்கின்றையில் சம்பூர்ண பிரம்மாண்டம் அது நிறைப்படுகின்றது. அப்பொழுது நடராஜனுடைய நாமம், சிவனுக்கு நடராஜன் என்கின்ற நாமம் எழுகின்றது. இன்று இந்த புண்ணியமான சிவாலயத்திலே நாட்டியத்தோடு பகவான் சிவபெருமானுக்கு இங்கே நடன அஞ்சலியாக நிகழவிருக்கின்றது. பூர்வாஷா அவர்கள் தன்னுடைய மாணவியரோடு இந்த வந்தனையை சிவபெருமானுக்கு என்னுடைய பாதங்களிலே அர்ப்பிக்கின்றார். दर्पण दर्पण प्रतिबिंब को दर्शाता है, ये बाहरी सुंदरता को दिखाता है, लेकिन जब कोई आंखों की गहराइयों में जाकर देखता है तो अपना अंदर की यात्रा शुरू होती है। आज के दिन हम हर्ष का अनुभव करते हुए एक नए और अलग तरीके का नृत्य, जहां नर्तक और नर्तकी मिश्रण करेंगे, प्राचीन नृत्य कला और अपने तरीके के आविष्कार जो मान के अंदर है। जब आप इसको देखें तो नृत्य का सुंदरता और कला का उत्साहवर्धन करेंगे और इसके में हेक को महसूस करेंगे। கண்ணாடி முகத்தை பிரதிபலிப்பது, ஆனால் அதிலே நம்மளுடைய வெளி அழகைத்தான் அதிலே காண்பிக்க முடியுமே தவிர உள்ளே இருக்கின்ற அழகை காண்பதற்கு அதனால் முடியாது. அதன் காரணமாகவே நாம் உள்நோக்கி இறைவனை வணங்க வேண்டும் என்கின்ற ஒரு பெரிய தத்துவத்தை முன்னோர்கள் சொன்னார்கள். இன்று நமக்கு புல்லரிக்கின்ற வகையிலே இந்த நடன குழுவினர் ஆண்களும் நர்த்தக பெண்களும் சேர்ந்து இந்த பழைய நாட்டிய கலையை நமக்கு வழங்குகின்றார்கள். இதை கேட்கும்போது நாட்டியத்தின் அழகு நமக்கு நன்றாக தெரிய வருகின்றது.
Very good evening to you all. We are privileged to perform at the Natyanjali festival, and it is a great honor, sir, to perform in front of you. Moving on to the next presentation, we are presenting a Tatkar. In Kathak, the footwork is very important. So we are presenting Tatkar in Tal, 3 Tal, 16 Matras.
தொடர்வது பொய்க்கால் குதிரை நடனம். பாரம்பரியமாக 5 தலைமுறைகளாக காவடி, பொய்க்கால் குதிரை, மயில் நடனம், காளை நடனம் ஆகியவற்றை ஆடி பயிற்றுவிக்கும் கலைமாமணி திரு TN சிவாஜிராவ், தஞ்சாவூர் திரு TN சிவாஜிராவ் அவர்களுடைய குழுவினரது பொய்க்கால் குதிரை நடனம் முதலில் இங்கே இடம்பெற இருக்கின்றது. இந்த பொய்க்கால் குதிரை நடனமானது பழங்கால இலக்கியங்களில் சிலப்பதிகாரம், தொல்காப்பியம் போன்றவற்றிலேயும் மடலேறுதல் என்ற வகையிலேயும் இது சிறப்பிக்கப்பட்டிருப்பதை நாம் அறிவோம். இந்த பொய்க்கால் குதிரை நடனத்திலே இன்று சங்கீத நாடக அகாடமியின் விருது பெற்ற ஜீவா ராவ் மற்றும் திருமதி பொன்னி ஆகியோர் இங்கே நமக்கு இந்த அஞ்சலியை நிகழ்த்த இருக்கின்றார்கள். பக்கவாத்தியம் தவில் திரு K கணேசன் அவர்கள், கிளாரினட் திரு ஜேம்ஸ் அவர்கள், சைட்ரம் திரு ரமேஷ் அவர்கள் மற்றும் பேஸ் டோல் திரு பாஸ்கர் அவர்கள். This is a dummy horse dance performed traditionally in Tamil Nadu and which has its origin since ancient times and which has been revived by the Marathi folk dancers of Tanjore. The present item is being presented by Kalai Mamani, Tanjavur, Shri TN Shivaji Rao and his troupe. We request our Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu and Madam Governor of Tamil Nadu onto the dais to felicitate the folk dance artistes and also the Kathak dance artistes. Now we invite the Kathak artists onto the stage. They will be felicitated by Honorable Governor and Madam Governor. கதக் நடனாஞ்சலியை தொடர்ந்தது பொய்க்கால் குதிரை அஞ்சலி. அதனையும் தொடர்வது பரதத்திலே ஒரு பகுதியான அண்ணாமலை பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் இசைத்துறை மாணவ மாணவி விருது அஞ்சலி. இந்த ஆடல் அஞ்சலியிலே நட்டுவாங்கம் மற்றும் நடன அமைப்பு சிதம்பரம் திரு கே கிருஷ்ணராஜு, பாட்டு புவனகிரி டாக்டர் திரு ஆர் கே குமார் அவர்கள், மிருதங்கம் திருக்கடையூர் டாக்டர் திரு ஜி கமலக்கண்ணன் அவர்கள், வயலின் தில்லை டாக்டர் திரு என் முத்துக்குமரன் அவர்கள், புல்லாங்குழல் நாகர்கோயில் டாக்டர் திரு என் கிரீஷ்குமார் அவர்கள், முகசங்கு புவனகிரி திரு டி கிருபாநிதி அவர்கள். ஆடற்கலைஞர்கள் ஆர் நிவேதா, யோகராதிகா, வி ஆர் சுவாதி, ஆர் மீரா மனுஸ்ரீ, பி ஜெயஸ்ரீ பாலசுப்ரமணி, ஆர் தீக்ஷா ஸ்ரீராம், கே ஸ்ரீ மற்றும் ஆர் கவிஸ்ரீ ஆகியோர். ஆடலஞ்சலியிலே முதலாவதாக ராக மாளிகையிலே திருமதி திருமதி அம்புஜம் கிருஷ்ணா அவர்கள் இயற்றிய கண்ணாவா மணிவண்ணாவா என்ற ஆதிதாளத்தில் அமைந்த பாடல் இடம்பெறும். இந்த பரதாஞ்சலிக்கு பிறகு கதக் நடனத்தின் 2 பாடல்கள் இடம்பெறும். அதனையும் தொடர்ந்து பொய்க்கால் குதிரை மயில் நடனம் ஆடிய குழுவினரது காவடி நடனமும் காளை நடனமும் இடம்பெறும். அதற்கு பிறகு மற்ற நிகழ்ச்சிகள் தொடர்ந்து நடைபெறும். ஆடல் அஞ்சலியிலே முதலாவதாக வருவது கங்கமுத்து நட்டுவனார் அவர்களால் இயற்றப்பெற்ற பிரம்மசந்தி கௌத்துவம், மத்தியமாவதி ராகம், திஸ்ர ஏக தாளம்.
தெய்யும் தத்தாம் தாத்தை தெய்யும் தத்தாம் கிண்ணம் சத்தரி கிடதக தக்கிட்ட திக்கிட்ட கிண்ணம் சக்கிண்ணம் தருகிடதக தக்கிட்ட துங்கு துங்கிடதக தாவென்னும் सावित्री गायत्री सरस्वती मंगय समेदराय तातावेन्नुम ब्रह्म संजीवं सावित्री गायत्री सरस्वती मंगय समेदराय ताम ताम चतुर्वेद संगीत धर्मनूलरियुम सकल कலை ஞானமும் இரவுதியாய் ரூபிகரித்து துதித்து துதித்து வனிகவே தத்தீனு சரதீனு தகரத்தி சாங்காம் சதுர்வேத சங்கீத தர்மநூலரியும் சகல கலை ஞானமோ இரவுகள் ஆதியாய் ரூபிகரித்து துதித்து துதித்து வனிகவே கக்குதி குதகதாதி தகதத்தி சாந்தா திக்கு திக்கு ஆதியாய் திரியற்கு தாவரம் மக்கள் மனோ தேவராம் உபபிரம்மா ஆதியாய் சகல புவன சிருஷ்டி ஸ்திதி கர்த்தரா மதன சிம்ஹாசனாதிபர்க்கு தக்குதி குதகதாதி தகதத்தி தாடா திக்கு திக்கு ஆதியாய் திரியற்கு தாவரம் மக்கள் மனோ தேவரா உபபிரம்மா ஆதியாய் சகல புவன சிருஷ்டி ஸ்திதி கர்த்தரா மதன அதிபர்க்கு சஜஸ்துடம் மத்தியமாவதி கீதம் சரிம பனி கமலமது ரிதம் சதுரகம் சாசியம் பிரம்மதாள சாக்கிதக்கதா சாக்கிதக்க வேகராக பண்பிடங்கியே அடியவர் கருள் செய்யோ பிரம்ம சந்தி கௌத்வமே
தலங்கு தக்க திக்கு தக்கு தம் தா கிட்ட கிட்ட தக்கத்தை அடி கிட்ட கிட்ட தக்கத்தை தக் கிட்ட தக்க திக் கிட்ட தக்க தொம் கிட்ட தக்க கிடுகிடுகிடுகும் கிடுகிடுகிடுகும் கிடுகிடுகிடுகும்
ஆதே தெய்யும் தத்தாம் தாத்தை தெய்யும் தத்தா
தொடர்வது திருமதி அம்புஜம் கிருஷ்ணா அவர்கள் இயற்றிய கண்ணா வா மணிவண்ணா வா என்ற ராகமாலையிலே அமைந்த கீர்த்தனை ஆதிதாளம்.